It's Joel. I'm back with another video, and today we're basically going to be going over, is DTF worth purchasing or buying? I'm just going to go through some quick, I guess, scenarios as to when it is worth buying and whatnot, and just different things to think about before purchasing a DTF printer. So anyway, let's get started. Let's jump right into it. So personally, I think first things first is you have to find a market for a DTF printer. When I initially, I'm going to give you a real example, a real life example of me. When I initially started, my thought was like, okay, I'm going to jump ahead of this curve and I'm going to start offering like, one-offs, like print on demand type of style, and also running my business with print on demand. What else? So yeah, so basically that's basically a scenario we'll get into, right? So my plan was initially, which is key when you're about to purchase a DTF printer, is planning it out. Really doing your R&D, right? Research and development on the DTF printer. So not that I didn't do it, it's just like I had this big plan in my head, which I thought was gonna work a lot better than initially it actually did. So, but the outcome was I ended up getting rid of my DTF printer. I just didn't target the right market, and basically I wanted the DTF printer to do my own in-house work for my clothing brand. And then I started realizing like, hey, I'm not printing enough with my clothing brand, because like my sales were, not that my sales were terrible or anything, no, I just don't think I used it enough to the point where it was like on a daily basis. And I was getting custom orders in, but I wasn't always using my DTF printer. I was ordering transfers and whatnot, just because the time behind a DTF printer is something that people don't really tell you, like how much time and effort goes behind it. For example, the maintenance can take 15 minutes to half hour a day, before and after, right? So you have to do the maintenance when you wake up. You have to do print head cleaning. You have to shake the inks. You have to, prime the dampers and, clean your print head. Just a quick like shoe shine method kind. So it could run perfectly fine. And then also it's the ICC profiles, figuring that out. That's not like an overnight process that you figure out. It takes, months to like really fine tune and figure out certain things. But not that I'm saying like I wasn't technologically savvy or anything. That wasn't the issue, because I figured everything out and I like printing. But the thing was that I just didn't want to upkeep with a lot of the maintenance, and then also not having the right setup and the toxic fumes. So that was like a big, concerning factor for me. And that's when I just said, you know what, I don't want to do this in-house. And that's why I pulled out from it, and I'd rather let a professional handle it, and which I do now. I have a supplier for DTF transfers. If you haven't checked that video out, Unreal Designs, shout out to them, because they freaking save my life all the time. So anyway, so that's a huge, like, I guess, downfall for me. And then also, like I said, I did the incorrect target market, which was like, that Etsy one-off type of shirts, like custom shirts and whatnot. I even, freaking did like ads and marketing on it and did everything, and I was getting sales. The thing is that I was just getting like poor quality images. And that was very, like I said, it was stressful and time consuming, because you're dealing with people who don't have, proper images. So that's why I changed my target market to more businesses and brands versus just any random person who wants a t-shirt done, because to be honest, it's too time consuming, waste of energy. That's just not my market. I don't like it, and that's why I moved away from it. I know you guys are probably gonna give me shit about it. You're gonna say, well, why don't you're in the wrong market, toughen up and blah blah blah. Like, no. You know, you get to decide who you sell to. I want people to know that you're your business. You choose your customers, you know? So really keep that in mind, because once you figure out your customers, it makes your life a lot easier. Let's go back into topic of, is it worth getting a DTF? I think yes, it is, but you have to keep in mind, you have to do maintenance every day on your DTF printer. And I would recommend getting a setup instead, like a commercial setup versus like a desktop setup, unless you have, like, you know, you're gonna go out and get the filtration system. You're gonna do that because your health is very important to me and to you. Like, it's concerning, not just for me, it's concerning to everybody. That you get that proper setup. So, I mean, unless you don't care about your health, then go ahead. I mean, destroy it by all means. But yeah, I mean, the thing is yeah, the maintenance, I just didn't want to do it anymore. And also, you have to think about, you have to buy spare parts for when your print head breaks down, your capping station breaks down, any of that. You have to buy spare parts for. A lot of people don't tell you, and that costs money. And yeah, so there's that, the maintenance. And then also, jumping into DTF isn't that cheap. I mean, an investment is easily gonna cost you like $1,000 and upwards. So that's just a desktop. And yeah, just really think about it. I recommend people, before they jump into getting a DTF, to do DTF transfers. Get all that money, save it up, and get yourself just a commercial DTF printer. That's what I recommend. Because I'd rather have someone, you know, get a professional quality setup versus a desktop printer. Now, I'm not saying desktop printers aren't reliable, but they do break down faster. That's the downfall of it, right? But maintenance is key, just to anything. That's like your car, right? Is if you don't maintain it, it's gonna break down. Same thing with these printers. Wait, let's move on. And then I was also gonna discuss just the cost behind it. I mean, it's not expensive, I guess, to create your own transfers when you're doing in-house. That's like great thing to do, but like I said, if you compare the transfer prices with other companies, it's definitely, you know, it's a good way to go. Especially, let's go back to, besides transfers, right? Buying them from somewhere else. They're pretty cheap comparable to doing it in-house. And like I said, let the professionals handle it, because they have the profiles down, and they're going to get probably better colors than you anyway. Or most of us, right? And also, I wanted to go into, do you have the space at home to do it? That's another thing. If you don't have the space at home to have like a proper setup, just, I say avoid it until you have a space. You know, because there's a lot of people that just jump into DTF blindly and just say, screw it, I'm gonna pull the trigger, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna buy this printer, I'm gonna get ahead of the game, and then you're gonna end up like me, probably just like selling it, or, you know, doing something else with it, or it's just gonna be a paperweight. I see that a lot in these forums, I kid you not. A lot of people jump in, they're like, yeah, I'm coming from the sublimation game, it's gonna be so easy, they're all cocky about it, and then yeah, a month later I'd see them, oh, I'm selling this because I don't know how to use it. So please make sure before you buy the DTF, like I said, do your research on it. And it's very important. And I can't stress it enough, and I keep repeating myself. Buy transfers. There's multiple companies out there, and I've given you multiple companies already. You know, there's TKA transfers, there's, you know, FM's Expressions, there's 613 Originals, there's Transfer Express, there's Unreal Custom Designs, there's like so many Super Color. I mean, there's so many transfer companies out there. But like I said, it's like I personally do transfers better. I like that because it's not stressful. All you do is just order, send file out, get to your transfers, and then start pressing them on shirts. Versus like where it was more time consuming making my own transfers and then pressing them on shirts. So I feel like I have more time with ordering transfers, to be honest. So instead of doing both. Oh yeah, and also I want to go talking about transfers. I know I keep going in rants and also figure out what you want to do with DTF. Do you want to make transfers? Do you want to, you know, be a type of print on demand type of company, or do you want it for your own, I guess, shop just in general, right? Because trying to do all three, it's kind of hard to balance, you know. DTF is worth it if you're looking for something cost effective, which like to keep the cost down internally, right? I think it's good for a small shop, maybe a medium shop, but it depends. Like if you get a commercial printer, yeah, by all means, like that's probably your best bet. But for like a smaller shop, you know, like I said, just have consistent work coming in, or else it's the DTF printer is not really worth buying. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents, and I wanted to share all this information with you. I'm sorry if this video kind of went in a rant. I guess there was no specific like topic. There was, but it wasn't. I don't know. Anyway, it's just, you know, me blabbering about DTF. Is it worth buying? So, and yeah, I think it is, but really think about it before getting it. You know, think about the different factors that come into play. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them down below. I'll try to answer all the questions. You guys have a good one. I'm out. Peace.